I'm not gonna lie, nobody could ever make me feel bad for living on Section 8. Like, I've heard people say, oh, you live on Section 8. I don't give a fuck. Look at my apartment. I have a nice little apartment. Rent is cheap. And I'm not just sitting here doing nothing. I'm saving my money. I'm building my credit. And I'm enjoying this cheap ass shit while I can. Because I'm not paying 1,000 for rent. I'm paying that cheap ass shit. And I love it. You never can make me feel bad for staying here as long as I can to save my money with my only child. And by the way, some housing requires you to be in school. It's kind of like student housing for adults, you know? And I'm taking advantage of it in a good way. Some people just sit around and, you got those people, and then you got the people that actually are trying to build success and trying to stack their money while on Section 8. This cheap ass shit, and you trying to throw it in my face that I live on. I'm supposed to be insulted by the fact that I pay less rent than you? Oh my gosh. You're still on Section 8. No, you're broke. No, I'm living great actually. I'm blessed. Okay? Like, I'll never be the type to judge anybody. Only time is if you're not utilizing your situation. Like, come on now. You paying less rent and you still not take advantage of it. Take advantage of the fruit, So of the blessing. And it's just like nobody could ever make me feel bad. Not nobody older, not nobody younger. Shit, this is my apartment and I'm very blessed and very happy and thankful for it. When I'm blessed and grateful for the things I have, nobody could ever try to humble me because I love it here. Well, I really don't
I
love it here. I'm
love
ready
it
to
here.
move, because I've been here alone.
Nah,
But
nah.
it's a
You
good
love it
place to
there.
stack your money. It's a good place to build your credit and like get back on your feet type shit. So nobody could ever make me feel bad for taking work smarter, not harder. You know?
That ain't supposed. What? See, I knew it. She said, I love it here. And then she tried to go back on it. Nah, you do love it there. Cause you getting comfortable. You could tell. You you really gonna try to ride this out for as long as possible. I can tell that's what you're gonna do. As long as they'll give it to you, you'll stay. And then what validated, I already felt this way, but what validated it to me is at the end, she's talking about work smarter, not harder. Ma'am, work smarter, not harder would have been to, not have kids while you can't afford them and while you don't have your life together. But on top of that, work smarter, not harder. What do you mean? You're on Section 8. That lets me know there's no urgency. You are supposed to work harder, smarter too, but hard nonetheless. You're on Section 8. Had this program not saved you, you would have probably been messed up with your kid unless you're taking advantage of it, which I wouldn't put it past you because it kind of sounds like you are. It really sounds like I don't think you actually, I retract that. I don't think you would be in that position if this wouldn't have came and saved you. I think then you would be working harder. But because this was an option, this gave you the option to actually not have to work that hard, but still be comfortable and still be stable. And this is how people are taking advantage. And they're ultimately not trying the best that they can, which they should be the people who actually have to. Listen, if you're single and childless, as long as you're taking care of yourself, or maybe you're not, maybe you live at home with your parents, but shoot, if you want to play video games all day or whatever, do you. You didn't take on no responsibilities. But when you start taking on responsibilities, you can't then shift the responsibility to other people. And then that gives you the ability to now be able to work smarter, i.e., not work as hard as you can to be able to actually take responsibility for your circumstance and the decisions that you made. So I think that's problematic. But y'all, before we get into the next clip, if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you can hype the
You
video as
literally
well.
could go get a job and actually.
And also, if you can hype the video as well. And I also started the Clips channel also. So I will link that in a pinned comment. The Clips channel. I'd appreciate it if you can go over there and subscribe. We're trying to get it to 4,000 watch hours before February 1st, and the new YouTube rules go into effect. So again, it'll be linked in the comments. But let's get back into it. The caption says, "Is she abusing Section 8 housing?"
You literally could go get a job and actually afford unsubsidized rent, not being subsidized by the taxpayer. You could go do that. You are literally choosing not to because you want to build your business. Why the are you allowed to leech off the taxpayer?
What? See, I be seeing this a lot too. Excuse me. I see this a lot. Not I be. But I be seeing this a lot, man. Listen, people talking about they want to start their business but they don't want to but they be having kids and they want to live on Section 8 and all this government assistance and try to start a business, which ultimately goes back to what I said, no urgency. But yet taking advantage of something that they really don't need, like he just laid out. And one of the biggest businesses that a lot of people try to live on Section 8 and government assistance and try to create is just that. They try to become creators, content creators. That's the biggest business that I see a lot of people talking about. Yeah, y'all, if we could just have this content pop off, y'all could like and subscribe and I can get, if my page can get monetized. And it's like, so this is your plan A, B, and C to become a content creator while living on government assistance. But you don't think you have to go the conventional route because you have practical overhead. And by practical overhead, a lot of people will have an exorbitant amount of kids, not just one, an exorbitant amount of kids, but yet they think they can find creative ways in order to be able to handle their responsibilities as opposed to conventional, tried and true ways that are safer and more reliable.
Not to because you want to build your business. Why the are you allowed to leech off the taxpayer?
I'm not leeching off of anybody.
Yes,
and
you
I
are.
have tried.
Tried what?
My last job, I had a really bad situation.
Tell.
Where I was interviewing men in particular, and every time I got on the screen with them, they got their little willies out and started whacking him.
I'm not going to have you translate that one.
I already could tell she was BSing when she started that off because she was being vague, and I'm glad he followed up. Yeah, tell us. That's what we need. We need more transparency now. We need more follow-up questions in society, especially when it comes to people with all these excuses that frame them as a victim. Follow-up questions, man. When somebody says, I got 7 kids and I'm single and it's 7 fathers, it shouldn't just be like, oh, okay. Oh, God bless you. Great. No, it should be like, why? How? Where? We need to have a lot of follow-up questions, man, because some people's lives just don't make sense. And see, she wasn't ready for that follow-up question. Man, I think she just pulled that out of her, because she's not used to people asking follow-up questions. That sounds crazy. Ma'am, if that happened at any job you ever had, you definitely wouldn't need government assistance because you would probably have gotten a lawsuit. You'd have probably had lawsuit money if people was just doing that, and that was a frequent occurrence.
And every time I got on the screen with them, they got their little willies out and started whacking him.
Really?
I'm not going to have you translate that one. What's our plan? Putting 30 hours a week into education that we can't define or explain?
There is a plan.
Okay.
What's the plan?
Now it sounds like a presidential debate.
See? Follow-up questions. People just want to say whatever they want to say. Ask the follow-up question. What is the plan specifically, practically, tangibly?
Okay. Now it sounds like a presidential debate.
I'm trying.
That's the plan.
What's your
trying.
try?
I have plans on finding a job.
Follow financial clips.
Didn't I tell you? Y'all just start asking more follow-up questions when people are just saying whatever, coming with excuses. And then what you'll find, and what you'll hopefully help them discover as well, which they know it already, is that you're full of crap. You're full of crap. And she said trying. That was when she followed up, she said trying, which we ultimately know that she's not. Ma'am, you're not trying. You're not trying at anything. Y'all get on this stuff. You have it laid out for you like a red carpet, and you get on it, and then you get comfortable. And then you don't try. But no one questions it. So that's how it's able to continue to float by. And people will be actually doing the inverse of trying. They'll actually be sabotaging their life worse and making more decisions that only complicate their lives and ultimately everyone's life. They complicate the complete situation. They get it so over complex to where that's why we don't ask questions. That's why we don't ask questions, because it's just so complex. And then now it's like, oh no, that's taboo to even inquire about. No. People got to start taking accountability for their decisions, and they got to say it out loud so that they can hear how crazy it sounds, and so they don't continue to keep making the same bad decisions that then we have to be accountable for.
Story time on my motherfucking rent man. Cause this bitch, look at this shit. Bitch gonna text my phone. First of all, the bitch gave me a 30-day notice. Verbally. I don't owe this bitch shit.
I don't know, man. I don't know if we could do this. I don't know if we can do this because she doesn't know how to talk normally, respectfully. I don't know where you got this from, but this is a horrible habit. It's like, goodness gracious. Is it not cool to be ladylike no more? Why we got to be pirate-like? Excuse me. Goodness gracious. And fellas, how do y'all be starting to build a family in a future, which is not a family? You can almost predict it at this point that it's going to break up, which this should have been the indication from the beginning. But ultimately, like, how do you even get to the point to where you're even impregnating your seed in people who like operate and behave like this? I don't understand.
God know where my heart is. But when y'all want a story time, I'm gonna give y'all messages. I'm gonna give y'all pictures. Y'all remember me painting and shit when I first moved in the house? This house, the whole house looked, but it had holes in the walls. Mind y'all, this is my room. I've been staying here since December. Bitch ain't came and fixed shit. When I first moved here, shit was still kept left in the house. But you know what? I'm gonna do the right thing. I'm cleaning this bitch up. I'm gonna do the right thing. Y'all see? I'm cleaning this bitch up. Ain't nothing gonna be in here. Cabin's gonna be clean and all. And I'm taking pictures.
No decorum whatsoever.
Listen to me, because nobody else is going to share this experience with you, but I'm very transparent and authentic about my situations. When I tell y'all to please cherish your low income housing, cherish your subsidized housing, okay, or your affordable moderate income housing, cherish that, because until you're out here paying market rent, I don't get a subsidy for my lights, I don't get a subsidy for my gas. I pay $2,000 cash every single month, and I pay electricity and I pay gas when I can afford it. I pay those bills. Please do not play with, when you are in low income housing. Let me explain something to you. It's almost impossible to get evicted, because they will keep working with you because they understand that you are a marginalized population. And so that's why they have like legal aid at court for you and things like that, or your housing authority will try to make a payment arrangement with you. That's why a lot of y'all know, some of y'all that fumbled in low income housing know, you've been to court 18 times for evictions and you've never been evicted from your same apartment. I tell y'all shit because I live from a place of experience. Yes, I broke low income curses. Yes, I got out of there. And yes, I know that I was abusing. And that's why I share this with y'all, because I don't want another mother to end up like me. And also, some of y'all be on your second and third low income apartment and you're getting evicted. How? How? You already know how it is to struggle out here. Why do you keep buying weed instead of paying the rent? Why do you keep buying hair and getting your nails done instead of paying the fucking rent? When you know that you've already been in the shelter with your children before, or you've already been couch surfing. Y'all don't give a fuck. So that's why I'm here. Auntie Brienne's here, Sister Brienne's here to tell you, stop playing with that voucher. One of the worst things that I ever did, you guys, I would be done with law school right now if I would have stayed in my low income apartment and had some more time to just get my mind together instead of wanting to rip and run, or having my fucking narcissistic abusive baby daddy whooping my ass and disturbing the peace and dragging me up and down the hallways. I wouldn't be in this situation. And so I share this with y'all because yes, I would have gotten out of low income housing. Yes, that is always the goal, and I'm glad that I got out. But I didn't get out because I moved out. I got out because I was evicted out of there because I was in domestic violence chaos. You understand what I'm saying? So being financially abused, being all of that. But this is what I'm telling y'all, because a lot of people aren't going to share this part of their life with you, but I do. And that's why I can advocate and speak on the things that I speak on, because I lived all the different parts of life. You understand what I'm saying to you? The worst thing that you can do, bro, I'm telling you, is, and you got kids, is fumble your low income apartment, fumble your subsidy housing, your moderate income. Y'all be playing with these apartments. Oh, is that it? No. Listen to me. It's somewhere. I don't care if it's Bradley Courts. I don't care if it's fucking Georgia King Village. I don't care where it is. Okay, it's a place for you and your children to lay your fucking head. It's a place that you can call home until you can elevate and do something different. And appreciate that. Appreciate that, because the bitches out here like me, who fumbled that, who pay market rent. And it's not even that I'm mad about a fumble. I don't get upset about that, because it was something that had to happen to me. God gave me 1,000 chances. If not, I would probably still be there playing the game. I had to learn the hard way. And I share my story with y'all so you bitches don't have to learn the hard way. Your baby daddy keep whooping your ass in that low income apartment. You know he's not on the lease. Put that nigga the fuck out. Okay? Because you think you're crying now, you're going to be crying when you and your kids are in the shelter. Okay?
Why don't we address the fact that y'all are picking these type of dudes? She made a huge assumption that just about everybody, they baby father is aggressive, for lack of better words, like that. The fact that you made that assumption just lets you know the problem, that you understand that that's what y'all typically go for. I've never seen a dude in jail who doesn't have his rights and who can't move how he pleases. I've never seen a dude in jail who can't do nothing for you or woman, kids, nothing. I've never seen them hurting for women. I done seen them hurting for a lot of things: a job, opportunities, shelter. I've never seen them hurting for a woman. So why don't we address that aspect? That a lot of people choose jailbirds, choose people who do things, and ultimately who is clear isn't an upstanding, productive citizen. Why are y'all choosing that? It's so many people in her comments that is like, yes, like, and when I say yes, they're all on it. They're all on Section 8. And it's basically like, oh, yes, don't fumble it. Yes, I'm so grateful for it. I'm so grateful for mines. It's a lot of people in her comments that's on Section 8. But sidebar, y'all let me know, man, is this ethical? Lock this in right here. This picture of her. Lock this in. Give you 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Lock this in. Now tell me, is this ethical?
Right.
I'm just curious. Is this ethical? Would you believe this is the same person? So apparently she does music. And so apparently this is her. I'm not trying to come for her, but is this ethical? Now lock this in. Lock it in. Lock it in. 3, 2, 1. And we're back.
Somebody made a comment and they said, well, I said, don't post your kids online if you know that you don't, whatever. And somebody said, well, why are we making commentary on kids? Why are your kids online?
Who is that other person? See, that's not ethical for me. If you make, like, let's say if she's on a dating profile or something. What was it? Christian Mingle or whatever. Let's say she's on Christian Mingle. And this is the picture she decides to go with on her Christian Mingle account. And so you're expecting this. And then when she shows up, you get that other thing. Is this ethical? Inquiring minds want to know. Ma'am, if you don't look like this at least 50% of the time, I don't think this is ethical. Just my 2 cents.
Okay, guys, so I truly had an epiphany this morning. And the epiphany is that I have come to realize that although it's no one particularly from TikTok, but I have truly allowed people to occupy space in my mind rent free. And I feel like it's time for them to be evicted because of the fact that they're no longer in my life.
Okay, this ain't about her eviction. She's saying she's evicting people from her mind.
All I know is I would not be putting my kids through what I went through. Like, I remember I was 18. I had my first Section 8 apartment. I could not stay there by myself. I was scared.
The caption says, laughing emojis. I had my first Section 8 at 18. I knew I was meant for more. And this is like a little story time.
I remember I was 18. I had my first Section 8 apartment. I could not stay there by myself. I was scared. Scared. I lived next to a huge ass drug dealer. Every day, this nigga had people coming in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Yeah, it's not my business, but when I sit on my balcony and I see him have a big ass bag of weed and a gun on his hip, you never know what could go wrong. Then next door, I don't know if it was a he or she. I don't know what the fuck it was. She was. They was. No offense. This bitch knocked somebody out in front of my window. I was scared. Like, why would you do that? So I go outside because, I'm lost. I go outside, they get to shoot it. Oh my God. That's when I knew I could never live in the hood again. Like, oh God. I've been through some shit in life. All I know is I would.
So it sounds like she doesn't come from that. But she decided she just wanted free rent. She wanted to take advantage of the system. And so she ended up being placed in a hood and ghetto environment. But you know what we don't talk about? What about the inverse of that? When you have a perfectly good, productive, civilized neighborhood, and then one of the homeowners decides they're going to rent out their home on Section 8. And so now you take somebody from that hood ghetto environment and you put them in that environment. Now that's crazy. That can destroy a neighborhood in itself. That one house, I done seen it happen. All the kids be going out and play. They used to have a nice, wholesome fun. Then now you got these other kids who, it's funny. It's almost like it's even. And when I say even, I mean the numbers would be even. You have a whole neighborhood of kids that was already in the neighborhood on this end. And then when this one house move in, they got so many kids that it actually matches the amount of kids within the entirety of the neighborhood. And they all been raised wrong. And when I say raised wrong, I really mean not raised at all. Lack of being raised. So now they getting around these other kids. And for one, they could just have bad habits, been raised wrong. And now that's transferring over to the kid that's been raised right. Next thing you know, your kid coming in cussing or whatever. Or, which the kids are innocent. It's not their fault. It's the fact that they haven't been poured into. Or they might just start bullying the regular kids because they done seen more. They done got a lot of experience. Because actually, kids who come from those type of places, they actually grow up really fast. And they get very mature very fast. And you'll be surprised. Man, I done met kids with grown man energy. You hear me? Grown man energy. Because they just done seen so much at a young age. And they can hold a conversation with anybody. They got confidence. They got characteristic traits, it's really actually very impressive. And if it could just be honed and harnessed, and if they don't sabotage their life, and if they kind of can learn what life is about, and so that they don't, go against those principles, they'll actually be all right if it's applied correctly. But that is another scenario that we don't really talk about when the ghetto people come into the regular neighborhood, and it gets crazy. But that's a big thing that's always been going on. I remember when I was younger that happened, where a Section 8 family, you know I seen a Section 8 family go into a good neighborhood, and so I seen what it could do. But yeah, she got put in the hood, and then she had to realize real quick. I would argue, see, she said, remember what the caption said: I had my first Section 8 at 18, and I knew I was meant for more. Did you know you was meant for more? Or did you just say, nah, this ain't worth it, but I'm stuck here? So were you just afraid? Because you got to remember, people be having these Section 8s, they be single mothers. So you chose to be a single mother. So what did you forsake? Obviously provision, but I would argue now you're being provided for by the taxpayers and by the government, but you also forsook protection. Protection. Now you are the protection. You choose to be a single mother. Now you are the first line of defense. And so she got put in a crazy area that had her rethinking things. And all of a sudden she decided, you know what? Let me try in life. Let me see what I can come up with. Let me do better for myself. I would argue, ma'am, if you'd have got put somewhere else, you'd have been like everybody else we watch. You'd have got comfortable. You'd have got real comfortable. You'd have been like that first lady who, with her one kid, talking about she's comfortable and she's saving and all this. You'd have been just fine, and you'd have rolled that out as long as possible. You just got a bad hand. You didn't get a good luck of the draw. And so that made you rethink your future and ultimately your decision. Y'all, we'll leave it there for the day, though. You could like the video. I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you could hype the video. Hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically, when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button and it shows the points. And since I'm a smaller creator, a smaller channel, we actually get more points per hype. And hype was designed for smaller channels. So that's why. But if you come across a video and you don't see the hype button, then it's probably been over 7 days. And hype usually vanishes after 7 days. So it's usually best practice, if you want to hype, to just go ahead and hype while the iron is hot on a newer video. And also, if you want to become a member of the channel as well, the join button's on the video. And what becoming a member of the DXU family will come with is you would get badges next to your comments, where it will show people that you are a member whenever you leave a comment, as well as you would get early access to content and also exclusive content that's not available for everyone else on YouTube. So again, if you want to become a member, join button's on the video. But until then, I'll see you in the next video.